Women's History Month. And this month, we're going to be bringing an incredible woman on, like my guest tonight, Cortney Edwards, to talk about the unveiling of Black women in the community. We know that Black women, we carry the weight of so many things. But this month, we're going to pour into all of our women of color, and we're going to dig deep into the story behind these incredible Black women in the community. Tonight, I have Cortney Edwards with me. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, it's an honor to have you, Cortney. So we're gonna go deep tonight.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
We got to talk like a little, and I got to learn you and feel very connected to your work and what you do in terms of outreach. So I'm gonna read your bio formally, and then we'll jump into the conversation.
All righty.
All right, let's go. So Cortney Edward. I don't know why I was called Cortney Matthews.
Maybe it's my husband, girl. Maybe it's my
Matthews,
husband.
Look, come on, receive. She's a native of Brewton, Alabama. Miss Edwards holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Alabama State University and a master's of arts degree in criminal justice from Norfolk State University. Miss Edwards currently works with the Steele Law Firm, PC in Atlanta, Georgia, as well as with the North Carolina A&T State University as a part-time professor. And I just heard she's teaching 4 courses this semester, y'all. So that's 2 full-time jobs. Ms. Edwards serves as an outreach director at Spirit and Truth Church under the leadership of Pastor Mark A. Moore Jr. And Ms. Edwards is best known for her heart of giving and her passion for community service and outreach. And I'll add this one onto it. She's also an incredible mother to a 9.5, soon-to-be 10-year-old girl. So, yes, she does it all. Ms. Edwards.
I try.
Wow. So I want to ask, like, what got you started into community work? So I know you wear multiple hats. You do so much. But what was it that sort of inspired you into this work?
So, actually, I think what inspired me the most, I've always had a heart just for giving. For helping people. Yeah. For years of my life, though, I had no clue what purpose was. I didn't know what my purpose was. Right. And so when I moved to Atlanta 7.5 years ago, I ended up finding being blessed with my church home, which was formerly Faith Covenant Church under the leadership of Bishop Mark Moore Sr.
Okay.
And so,
father.
Yes, the dad. And so while I was there, Bishop was a great counselor to me. Sure. And so he started kind of putting me to work, sort of. Gradually he would ease me, daughter, I want you to do this and I want you to do that. And so just being obedient to him, because I love him so much, I honor him. He said, I want you to think of something that we can do for the community. Sure. And so my very first initiative was Thanksgiving. It was a Thanksgiving initiative. Yeah. He let me plan it from ground up, and we fed 50 families. Wow. We blessed them with full premium Thanksgiving dinners from Honey Baked Ham.
Ooh, Honey Baked Ham is
good. We were able to sponsor, get sponsors, and I partnered with some of the law firms, and they partnered with the church. Wow. And so we raised the money, we bought the dinners, and we blessed the local community with these free dinners. And so kind of from there, that's where I found my heart for it. We ended up that same Thanksgiving, we also went out in the community. We fed the unhoused. We gave them food bags, hot soup, a drink, a snack. I made these little bags with scriptures on them, and from there, it just really, I think that's what set the fire in me. So I owe that to my bishop. He really pulled something out of me that I didn't know I had, and I'm so grateful for it. And so, from there, we took off. And Bishop was blessed to, he now pastors a church in Chicago. Yeah. And so now I'm honored to serve under his son, Mark A. Moore Jr. And so, we hit the ground running. We have a new church name, it's Spirit and Truth Church now. But same thing, same heart. Same heart for outreach and the same drive to reach our community in every way possible.
One of the things I love about your story is the fact that your purpose was essentially identified in church and faith, right? Yes. I feel like that is where many people discover their purpose in church.
Absolutely.
And so I love the fact that there was such a partnership and collaboration between church and community. And the fact that you're still, from what I understand, Still operating in that role.
Absolutely. And I, to say I didn't think that I would end up in church as an adult as a result of some of the things that I experienced growing up in church. However, I'm so grateful because one thing that I've always said and I've always felt in my heart, and I tell other people, God didn't hurt me. People hurt me.
That's good.
And so
that's powerful.
I'm thankful, though, because I know so many other people who were hurt by church people and they just quit altogether, But I want to even encourage somebody who may be listening, God didn't hurt you. People failed you. God didn't fail you. People failed you. And so don't hold that against God. Because if you quit on God, I think about what if I had given up? Yeah. What if I didn't go back to church? What if I just walked away from it? I probably would have never found my purpose. We wouldn't have been able to feed those families.
That's right.
We wouldn't have been able to go out and bless the unhoused. We wouldn't have been able to, and I didn't even get to this part yet, but I think it's a good part to insert it. We launched a food pantry. We are celebrating 1 year of the pantry this upcoming weekend.
Incredible.
We fed thousands of people.
So good.
Thousands as a result of a partnership with Kroger.
Wow.
Shout out to Kroger. And so we feed people weekly in the community, fresh groceries, nothing, it's all good stuff, meat and produce and dairy. And so we able to do that. We launched a free women's boutique.
Wow.
Where people can come. I partner with a local shelter. Yes. Women can come completely free.
Incredible.
Come get clothes for interviews or, whatever they need them for. And it's good stuff, too, y'all. Come see us.
Come see them, y'all. Can I come?
Yes, you can. And it's open.
Women Boutique?
Absolutely. We open once a month.
Incredible.
And at our Marietta campus.
Wow.
But, so, I just think, had I quit, I would have never discovered who I am, really. Because I am outreach. Outreach isn't what I do. It's who I am, And so I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that God kept me. I know it was him that kept me. I don't give anybody else credit. I don't give myself credit. I give God all the glory because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have stood up under the pressure and the heartbreak. I wouldn't have been able to stand up under that. And so I'm grateful.
It's incredible when you were talking about, before you said outreach is you, one of my questions that I wanted to ask you is, what does outreach mean to you?
Wow.
What is outreach? Because I think sometimes I feel like in certain institutions we throw the word around, but we don't really embody the spirit of it.
Right.
If you can tell us, what are the principles, what's the heartbeat of outreach to you?
For me, and I think a lot of times people, they use outreach, or like you said, they throw the word around without really understanding and knowing the true or what it should mean. For me, I don't care anything about a title. I don't care anything about people knowing who I am. Yeah. The only thing I'm concerned about is that I helped somebody. Yeah. That's the only thing that concerns me. I want to know that I bless somebody that they could see Christ in me for that moment. Yeah. I don't care about Cortney. Yeah. I only care about people being able to see Jesus Christ or the love of Jesus Christ in me, in my giving. Yes. And so I think sometimes we get caught up in this is what we're doing, I don't care about the hype of it. I care about simply what it is that we're doing. And that's being able to go out in your community and bless somebody who you may never see again. I tell people all the time, even my team, when it comes to when we're going out in the community, of course, we want to, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we don't want people to come to church. We do. Right. But at the end of the day, we're blessing people who may not have a ride to church. Yeah. They may be ashamed. They may not have the clothes to come to church.
That's right.
They may, for whatever reason, they may not be able to get there. And so I say we want to just bless people, regardless of their race, regardless of their religion, regardless. Let's just be the hands and feet of Jesus. And let's just go out and love on people and bless them in any capacity that we can bless them. So for me, outreach is it's simple for me. It's just being a blessing. Just being a blessing, regardless.
Yes.
Doesn't matter about the other end. Regardless of, I don't want any recognition. I just want to be a blessing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because I feel like when you, and my pastor says this all the time, but when you take care of God's house, God will take care of your house.
That's right.
And so, I'm never in position where I want to be put on a pedestal or anything like that. I actually prefer that people don't know. I don't talk about a lot what I do for that reason, because I want people to know that everything I do is from my heart, because it is who I am. And, it's not just a job to me. Yeah. It's not. It's something that we need to be doing all of us.
Absolutely.
All of us. At some point, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were just talking about how at some point in life, we all need somebody for something. It's like you will need, if you live long enough, as my mom would say, if you live long enough, if the Lord lets you live long enough, at some point you're going to need somebody for something. And so, we just have to, put ourselves in position to be that blessing for somebody who's in need, because it could be us.
I love it. And how you defy the odds, Cortney, if I may, is you are a professor.
Yes.
You're a paralegal.
Yes.
But yet you have the heart of a servant.
Yes.
You are defying the odds in so many ways. But I want to really quickly go back to principles of outreach, and then I'll go back to that point. So it sounds like, based on what you say, outreach is selflessness.
It is.
It's love.
It is.
It's being able to be connected to the needs of the people that you're serving.
Absolutely.
So those that are doing outreach, whether in church or in your institution, it's not necessarily checking off the box, but it's, have you checked off the box of your heart, number one?
That's the question. Is
your heart in the right place?
Is your heart in the right place? That's the ultimate question.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then your heart is absolutely in the right place. Because you are a mom.
Yes.
You're a professor, paralegal, and then you're also working in the church, helping people all over the community. So I'm wondering, how do we what are some principles we can extract from your life of how you keep your heart and your intentions pure that we should be thinking about?
Wow. I try my best, and I think I do a relatively good job. The biggest thing, you have to have relationship with Christ. Yeah. I don't try to push anything off on anybody, and I hope that I'm not overstepping.
Oh, no, please.
But that's, if I had to tell anybody how I keep my head above the water, it's relationship. It's relationship with Christ. You gotta know God outside of the four walls of the church. Yeah. You gotta know him. Like, you have to walk with him every day and allow him to teach you and correct you and love you and all of those things. Yeah. Without that, I wouldn't survive. Wow. I wouldn't survive. My relationship with God is the number one. That's the number one thing that keeps me afloat. Without it, I'm nothing. And really, now that I think about it, that's the only thing. It's not even a number system. It's literally staying connected with God, making sure I hear from him, and that I'm listening. He gives me strength. God's strength is unmatched. Because
that's so good.
It is. Without it, clearly, I wouldn't survive.
Yes. Woman of great faith, and not just talking, but you live it out.
Yes.
We think about some of the greatest leaders in our world. They were men and women of great faith.
Yes.
So I love that you carry that with you, because
absolutely,
in this work, you can get very burnt out.
Very. And
overwhelmed.
It's easy to. It's so easy to get burned out. And don't get me wrong, I've been burnt out before.
Yes.
I've been burnt out before. And God is my fuel. He refuels me.
That's good.
When you are what you do, like I said, I am outreach. It's who I am.
Yes.
And so even in those burnout moments, you know, God will refuel you because you know, you just when it's in you, you can never stop.
Yeah.
You can get tired, you can get worn out, you can say, I don't want to do this anymore.
Quit.
I have quit. And I have quit.
And
you know what God said? Get up, let's go again. So get up, let's go again. Get up. We got more work to do. Wow. We got more people to reach. Yeah. We got more people to feed. We got, you know, it's so much more work. The work doesn't end. And so getting tired, getting burnt out, it's normal. Yeah. It's normal. That's something that I talk about on the podcast.
Yes.
Burnout.
Coffee with Cortney.
Coffee with Cortney.
Yes.
I started Coffee with Cortney as my own personal like therapy. You know, it's mine. It's my baby. Yes. So but we talk about things like that and how it's common. You know, some people frown on and they'll throw the scripture. And don't get me wrong, I love the scripture. I don't think that we should get weary in well doing. Right. You know, I think that we should, you know, do the work of the Lord. Sure. But being tired is normal.
Very normal.
And we have to normalize,
very normal,
you know, things that happen to us because as spiritual, we can be the most spiritual beings on the planet. Yeah. But we're still in these bodies. That's right. These bodies are flesh. That's right. They get tired. That's right. They get sick. That's right. We have to take care of them, you know? And so I tell people that your mental health is equally, if not more important than your physical health. That's right. So when you're mentally tired and you burn out, you have to take care of yourself in the same way that you would if you get physically sick in your body. Yeah, so, absolutely. Yeah, so, you know, just really normalizing being tired. And, you know, it's okay to be tired. But, you know, I've learned now, after God has told me about 5 times after saying I'm quitting, he wouldn't let me quit. You know, it's okay to be tired and take that moment to recharge, but don't quit. Don't quit.
That's so good.
Yeah.
No, I love everything you're saying. I'm going like 5 different ways in my head about just you're giving me so much inspiration. Listen to you. And I'm thinking about the normalization of being tired. Yes. As I think that as a Black woman, that's tiring, right? Let's just stop there. Like, being a Black woman is very tiring for so many reasons. I don't know if I have time to go through it, but I'm thinking about the double jeopardy that we often face as Black women. Yeah. Oftentimes, always having to be strong. Always. Often looked at as the strong Black woman, even when we're not strong and when we're weak and vulnerable. There's almost like this illusion that you can't be tired or weak or vulnerable. You're Black. You're a strong woman. Yes. You can get it together even when you know you're at the end of the rope. And so, you know, I'm thinking, how do we normalize that within Black women where they know it's okay to be able to say, I'm tired? Because I feel like if we do that, we can create a well culture of Black women leaders that are honest and authentic about when they are at that moment.
You know what I've been doing lately? I say I'm tired.
I love it.
I say,
you name it. Yes.
I say, I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that.
Yes.
I had to learn, though, how to do that because we're taught that we can't.
Yes.
We're taught, and I think that's half of the culture's problem right now is because we're trained and we're taught. We watch our moms. Oh, yes. I watched my mother work, single parent.
That's right.
I'm the baby of 4. My mom actually had me late. Oh. She had me at 40, so my brothers and sisters, they're actually old enough to be my parents. Oh. And so growing up, even though I had siblings, it was just me and my mom in the house. But I watched her work. Yeah. She didn't have the help. She didn't have the support. Yeah. And she worked so, just tirelessly. Yeah. And so I grew up seeing this is what I have to This is what I have to be. Now, mine was different because she trained me and she taught me, I need you to get an education. I need you to be educated.
That's right.
I need you to get this so that you don't have to depend on anybody and you'll be able to take care of yourself. Yes. And so I watched that, and growing up, subconsciously, it stuck in the back of my mind. You got to do this. You got to work twice as hard. You got to be able to take care of yourself because, mama worked so hard and nobody was there to help. Yes. And so, you just train yourself to, I can't get tired. Yeah. But the reality is you can get tired and you will.
Yes. Yes.
So what happens when you get tired?
Right.
What do you do?
What happens?
And so you have to train yourself what to do because you don't know what to do. You're just used to just keep going. And then that's how burnout happens.
Yeah.
So I think we need to normalize saying, I'm tired.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't have, my favorite phrase now is, you know what? I don't have the mental capacity to deal with this right now.
It's a good one. Y'all borrow that. I don't have the mental capacity.
I don't have the mental capacity to deal with this right now.
Yes.
Let's talk later.
Yes.
No, I can't make this outing tonight, y'all.
Yes.
I really need to stay home and rest.
Yes.
I need to rest.
And not feel guilty when you do, because I think there's an element of feeling guilty.
It's that element, but we have to have that component of self-love.
Yes.
You know, one thing that I'm guilty of, because I'm outreach, because I have that heart to give.
Yes.
I give nothing to myself. And we have to give to ourselves in the same way that we give to others.
That's good.
Got to give back to ourselves.
That's good.
You can't, when your cup is empty and you're constantly pouring, I tell people, you can't pour from an empty cup.
That's right.
There's nothing left. Yeah. So you have to have that time with self. Yeah. Ties back. You have to have that relationship with God so that when I'm empty, I get to myself, I block out everybody else, and I allow that time with me and God for him to refill me so that I can go back out and I can be effective. Because if you're pouring from an empty cup, you can't be effective.
That's right.
And so I just think it's important, going back to the question, we have to normalize saying, hey, I can't do that right now. Yeah. I don't have it right now because we'll deplete, if we don't. So,
and I think that's the plight of Black women. We often find ourselves saying yes to everything, and then we are essentially depleted at the end of the day. And so, and just thinking about Black women all over and the plight that we have of carrying all this weight on our shoulders, feeling like we cannot set boundaries because we're afraid to do it for whatever reason.
Boundaries is such a good word. And let me be honest, I'm a 37-year-old Black woman, and I literally just in the last year of my life learned and started to set boundaries. And actually setting them is easy. Enforcing them.
That part.
Enforcing them. So I will say for the last year of my life, I have not only set them, but I'm enforcing them. There was a time when I would literally I would say yes to everything, and I would get so overwhelmed. And, there's been days at work, even at my office, where I would go in the bathroom. This is a true story, y'all. Yeah. But this is what Black women do. Yep. I would go in the bathroom. He would cringe if he heard me say he was my boss. He doesn't like for me to call him my boss. He says we're coworkers. Okay. He's a wonderful man. Shout out to Brian Steele.
Love it.
He would be asking me for something, and my job is very demanding at the firm. So it's one thing after another. Yeah. And so I can remember days him throwing just so much at me, know. And I would go in the bathroom. I would sit in the stall and I would bawl in the middle of the day,
middle of the workday,
working. Yeah, I would sit there. I would bawl my eyes out, and then I would get up, wipe my face, pull it back together, and go right back in that office as if nothing had ever happened.
You know what that is? That's learned, and it's intergenerational. It's a coping strategy that Black women had to learn. You think what you just said was so powerful. Just thinking about the effect of that Black woman, say hundreds of years ago, when their kids were taken, what did they have to do? Bawl their eyes out, pull it together, and go right back and act like nothing happened.
Wow.
And so it is a learned behavior that has been intergenerational.
Wow. I had never even looked at it from that perspective, but that is so true. That's so true. I actually made a post today. I don't know why. I've been into classics lately, and I know that they recently remade the Color Purple.
Yes.
I haven't seen it
yet. Haven't seen it. We gotta go see it. We may go see it together.
See it.
Yeah.
I love classics. Yeah. Some classics I don't want to be touched, but hey, they did it, and that's okay. But another classic that I was talking about, I actually made a Facebook post today, and I said people are so used to seeing Oprah or attributing her to her character as Miss Sophia.
Right.
I said, but I know Oprah as Miss Maddie Michael. There's a movie, and it's called The Women of Brewster's Place.
Okay. Put that down.
You want to talk about a classic, though.
Okay.
And the greats. I mean, Lynn Whitfield, Oprah, Jackie, Robin Givens.
Yeah.
I mean, these black women, they taught me at a very young age, very young. The movie came out in '89. I probably watched it in the '90s. Little girl.
Wow.
But they taught me how resilient a black woman is.
Yes.
You have to watch it.
I gotta watch it. You already got me drawn in, so I'm gonna go look that up. Watch it.
I mean, it's powerful.
Wow.
It's powerful from the beginning all the way to the end.
Wow.
And so it's something that all black women need to see.
Yeah.
It teaches you about resilience.
Yeah.
But it also teaches you what can happen if we come together.
I love that.
You guys see it.
That's powerful. You know, you're saying so many great things. We didn't get to talk about the professor stuff, and then I'm like, but I want to talk about the mama stuff. So I'm wondering we can touch on those two in our closing. If you can talk about being a black woman in academia, what does that look like? Because I feel like we embody brilliance on so many levels. You talked about building a curriculum from the ground up. I think it was criminology.
Yeah.
And you, that's your baby. You built that course. You teach that course. And so I'm wondering if you can talk to the space of academia and why it's important for black women to be in those spaces.
I just think that education, in a nutshell, is important for blacks, period.
Right.
I know we're talking about black women, but I just think it's so important for us to be an educated people.
Yes.
Because of what was sacrificed for us.
That's right. Absolutely.
What our ancestors went through.
Yeah.
I think it's a slap in the face
Yes.
to not take advantage of
Yes.
every single educational opportunity that's put in front of us.
Right.
We have to do that. But being a black educator, for me, it's so empowering. It's different. Teaching was my dream job.
Yeah.
And I learned my passion for it in graduate school.
Right.
I was actually blessed with the opportunity to teach some undergrad courses for my mentor at the time. Yeah. And so that's why I discovered my passion for teaching. But to be in a position of, I guess, authority, but to be able to educate our black and brown children, like, I mean, it's really indescribable. Yeah. It's hard to put into words what it means to me. I don't take it lightly, and I'm just blessed with the opportunity to teach so that they don't have to be ignorant. You know, I think ignorance is
greatest weapon.
It's
the greatest weapon.
You know, and to just be in position to be able to really pour into our children.
Yes.
You know, to be able to give them what a lot don't get to get, which I had 2 HBCU experiences. So I'm happy to say that I learned from a lot of black professors, and I didn't take it lightly. Yeah. There is nothing greater than an educated black woman. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible.
It's incredible. And as you're talking about it, you know, Cortney, I went to an Ivy League school, maybe one of the only black people. I don't remember having one black woman professor for undergrad or graduate or any post certifications.
Wow.
I don't remember seeing one of us.
You know, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
It is. I remember, and in undergrad, I did have, you know, black professors, but I remember getting to graduate school, and I remember my statistics professor, who ended up being my mentor.
Yes.
And I remember calling my mom the same day, and I said, Mama, I said, my teacher, my professor, I said, she's a black woman. I said, Mama, I want to be like her.
Yes.
I said, I want to be like her. Now, mind you, by now I'm like 25, 26 years old, and I'm like, I want to be like this woman. I had never seen anything like it.
I love it.
And I was just so intrigued. There is nothing like an educated black woman. She knew her stuff.
Yes.
And she knew her stuff.
That's right.
And she was confident. and not arrogant in any way, but just confident in what she was doing, and she didn't let anybody make her feel like she didn't deserve to be in the room.
Yeah.
I love that. And so I'm so thankful. I would hope that I'm at least half of the professor that she was to me. But
it's incredible.
Yeah.
So you're like a mother in a sense, in a spirit, when it comes to like teaching these children.
Absolutely.
But then you're a natural mom.
Yes.
So in closing, tell us what that's like. You do all these incredible things for the world. And what is it like when you're able to come home and see your daughter's beautiful face? What is motherhood like for you?
It is very it's very rewarding. It's more rewarding for me. I feel like God favors me. I am a mom to a little girl that I did not give birth to. Yeah. She is, by right, she's my goddaughter, and I was blessed with custody of her. We've been together all of her life. Yes. She's been in Atlanta with me for going on 2 years. This is her second time being here with me, and now she's here permanently. But it's beautiful. It's being able to see a little person who has your personality and your spunk and your heart. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I do not have any biological children, but I always tell people me having her naturally, I don't think would make us any closer. She loves me and I love her. And we are just a dynamic duo.
Yes, dynamic duo. We got to have like a mommy-daughter date.
Yes, absolutely.
One of these days. Absolutely. They're 2 years apart. She's 2014.
Oh, okay. Yep,
your daughter, mine
is
2012. We definitely got to do it. Yes. But we're coming to a close, and this has been incredible. I can feel your heart for people, for the community, for what you do.
For sure.
It literally comes, it exuberates from you. But in closing, how could people reach you? They're interested in reaching out to you for whatever reason, whether it's for the church or whether it's for Professor or whether it's for a podcast.
I know, right? I have so many different hats, but luckily you can find me on social media, guys. I'm on Facebook as Cortney Edwards. My name is spelled Cortney. I do not have a U in my name, so it's Cortney Edwards. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. You can follow me at the podcast. My @ handle is Coffee with Court. So that's COFFEEWITHCORT.
Incredible.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love it. Thank you.
I'm so honored to be here.
Listen, I don't want to let you go, but I got to. So it's all good. But any last word of encouragement you want to give to women that just need to hear it?
Yeah. Black woman, you are loved. You are appreciated. I know your sacrifices. I know you're tired. Yeah. Don't give up. Stay with God.
Yes.
Stay with God. Stay with God. He's going to give you the strength that you so need, that you deserve for all that we do. Stay with God. Don't give up. And I love you so much.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I love y'all too. Thank you so much, Cortney. That was incredible. And thank you all for listening, for tuning in, and for watching. This episode was absolutely dynamic. We want you to elevate this message. Some woman needs to hear it. So go ahead and spread this message out to someone that you know and let them get blessed from hearing this as well. Please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast channel if you haven't already at iRaise.org. We love you guys so much. Stay tuned for next week's episode. See you soon.